Okay, it's doing something. Redirecting. Okay, I think we are live. Hey Jay, so good to see you.
Claudio, how are you?
Good. So it's been a while since we talk. We are both quite busy. So I want to, sorry, it was the the delay between Zoom and YouTube. So we've been both busy attracting and talking to more people about, our own media platforms right now, Gnostic TV in your case, and Oraverse Network in my case. So people are quite interested to have their own platform, their own podcast. Either they are authors or entrepreneurs. They want to let people know about their products, their business, in a let's say, invasive and promotional way. So I want you to tell us, how would you see this environment moving forward? You have much more experience than me, and then a lot of people who have started their podcasts. So how do you see, or what your advices are for someone who's just new to this type of approach?
All right. Well, brother, it's good to see you again. Thank you very much. I'm glad we're getting to spend time together like this. So, as far as experience goes, I mean, it really is subjective. Yes, I've been in this since 2009, but I will share with you my journey's been this is that this has never changed. If anybody can have a show, they should have a show. That has to be your baseline calling card. It really does. Just like in the worlds before, like people have business cards, you know what I mean? You need to have a show. That's how people find out about you. A lot of people say, "Oh, well, I'm a guest on other shows." That's not the same impact. You can be a guest on as many shows as you want. You're a guest on someone's show. When you have your own show, you're now in a league where you are now, the perception is that you're a credible source of information. Just being a guest on someone's show is not good enough in today's world. It just isn't.
Yes, and I am the proof of what you just said, because after 255 interviews, I met so many people, and I was able to make friends, build long-lasting relationships. I am in 2 days, I'm launching a new book in the Spiritual Inspire series. I took the interviews and put them into the book format, and people are just wow. And these contributors are quite pleased with the result of the work I did. So, yes, you will start with an idea, but then over the years, you will evolve in such a way that you won't even believe how enriched or fulfilling that period of time could be.
Yeah, you will, and you go by going through the motions. I mean, look, we're all in the conscious, multidimensional world. I mean, the types of energies we are speaking to, the soul sisters and brothers. So we all understand the concept of that as we're starting to talk about it, we're vibrating, and through the vibration, we're manifesting, because when you're vibrating at that state, you're manifesting at that level. One of the benefits, especially for those in the who are wanting to they're thriving, or they want to thrive more in their spiritual business, or they want to be more prosperous in their spiritual, you all understand the law of attraction. You understand the principles of manifestation. Is there has to be that level of vibration. This is why the show in and of itself, because like you and I talking right now, my vibration's automatically up, and now it's at that level. It's rattling at that universe. You know what I mean? It's rattling at a whole different realm. that attracts things in your life. And when you do that with consistency, it starts to become a habit, and you start to see the things come in your life. It may not always be exactly what you wanted or how you portrayed it, but you start to see like, hey, this is a door now for me to look at for what I want there. And you do have to do that. What you're doing with your book, with the collaborators, that in and of itself, that's the kind of things that have to be done in today's world. You know, the collective consciousness, if you were getting together, whether it be in books like we do, or you and I, we do symposiums together also, those kind of movements are what today's consumer are looking for. They're looking to make life easy to watch, Claudio. They're looking to say, well, you know what? I'd rather read one book that has 10 different views of it, from different perspectives, or watch a symposium that has 10 different people on it. You see what I mean? So there, in today's world of always, I would say to business people, always think about forget about so much what you want. That's your stuff. You'll find your way. Think about what your potential avatar is really looking for, and really understand what are their buying habits. Why do they buy? What attracts them? What's going to get them to stay with you?
Yes, and even if co-creation is a buzzword these days, I mean, we are walking the talk. I am
Yeah,
co-creating with my podcast guests. I am not
yeah,
just saying the word,
right.
being an empty shell. No, I am doing that with them. I am promoting them, and they are very thankful for that type of exposure, additional exposure, and unexpected exposure they are getting through these books. And it's kind of, again, going back to that idea of time capsule. Anyone can pick up a book, even if we have no power. You still have the book. You can open it up and get that knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if we start to realize that at some point in time, as we start to go through the journey of life, we're all going to hit a finish line, right? And then go to another existence at some point in time. So, you know, the ones my experience, and I see from others' experience that have had high levels of success doing what they want, they live in that moment. They really do. They focus in on that. They they work with their collaborative partners by doing these shows. They find their vibrational matches, and they start to build things with that group of people. And it starts to manifest and manifest and manifest more from there. So it'll if you can stay disciplined in that, and consistently get, not only worry about getting your message out, but help others get their message out, you'll see all of this will start to blossom for you as an individual. Because if there's any truth to the fact that we're all interconnected, then by helping someone else, then you are only helping yourself along the way.
Yes, and I recently interacted with some of your symposium participants, and you won't believe how harsh of a life they had, and they pulled themselves up and they said, I
Yeah.
want to be part of this symposium. I want to start my own podcast. I want to tell the world what I was going through and how others can relate to my challenges, so they can also pull themselves up and move forward in life. And that to me is a plus for someone to have a show.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, at the end of the day, all we have is each other's experience, right? So if we can share that experience of our lives to help other people through their lives, maybe there's familiarity, and there's a consciousness of saying, "Hey, I understand what they're going through," or that was relevant to me. That's a big deal. And if you can turn that into a business, that's even a bigger deal, because now you're living your real spiritual purpose, if you would. I think we all start off in life with a job, maybe, and I think that for the most part, in my opinion, is designed to teach us work ethic and how we're going to communicate. But at some point in time, there's signs for everybody that says this is your dharma, this is your calling. And sometimes it may not feel good when you're no longer working in that job, or the pay is not as good or something like that. But you get an opening to find it. Sometimes you close the door on it, sometimes, and then another door will continually open. I personally believe we're constantly exposed to what we're supposed to do. It's up to us whether we were able to see that message at a personal level. Claudio, is April and I have found out the show is what kept us open. It kept the channel opening to what was next, what else was possible. It was just that thing alone.
Yes, and again, it's beautiful because people should look at the guys which are at the top right now. They don't care. No, sorry, let me rephrase that. they have a podcast, they have a show. Why? They have money, they have visibility, they publish books, or they have successful businesses, but they still want to have a podcast to interact with people or with their peers, to bring that type of experience to the world. So that means there is something there for anyone to look into. And I know might be, or might, it seems not easy to start a podcast, but I think if you are organized and if you know exactly, if you write down what you need, or you attend a course, or ask for advice, you're gonna be able to have everything you need and be successful.
Yeah, absolutely. You got, like anything in life, when you go to do it, if you're gonna do it, do it. Just go in, do it, and don't overthink about it. Don't overanalyze it. Go through the motions of it. Allow yourself to allow yourself to, get make those mistakes you need to do, because that's how you're gonna learn. There's no other way to learn. There's just no other way to learn. You make those mistakes and you get through them and you say, I'm never doing that again. And that's what you do. You just never do it again, but you learn very fast in this way. And I have to tell you, like I said, for me, it's been an incredible business. It is an incredible business, but the therapeutic benefits of having, a show, or I can't even put a price on it. You really just cannot put a price on the therapeutic benefits, the mental state you feel afterwards, during it oftentimes, right? Again, the more and more you do it, it just lives with you. It stays with you the whole time.
Yes, and it gives you confidence. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and I
Mhm.
said, if you give me 10 minutes, or say, no, sorry, if you want me to interview a certain person, give me 10, 15 minutes to do my quick research on him or her, and then I will be able to have a conversation for half an hour, 50
Mhm.
minutes, or whatever. Because now I'm confident how to handle that conversation. I will find certain points, certain angles, certain common ideas that we can expand on and make that conversation interesting.
Absolutely. I know that people right now, it seems to be a trend that we seem to see in pockets, but people are in high level transitions in their life, whether they're retiring from the workforce or they just are no, they're just moving on to something else. There's not a better way for you, again, from experience, there's not a better way for you to find out what's possible next other than doing your shows. Because what happened, like I remember when April and I first started our show, we had left the financial services business and we really didn't know what we were going to do, right? We just didn't understand it like so much. We knew we were going to be in some sort of media, I guess, to some degree, but didn't know like how it was going to work out. So by interviewing people, we learned concepts like life coaching and distribution channels and being an affiliate and all these like terms that are so, you know what I mean, that everybody knows now. But it was through that process we understood and we were able to ask the questions like, you mean I can do that? You mean I can host a class? You mean I can have my own course? You mean someone would pay for my knowledge? Those kind of things you learn because you see and you get to actually talk to people that are already doing what you want to do and you're drawn to, and they're making money at it and they're living and they're thriving well from it.
Yes, indeed. And you and I did some research while putting a course together about podcasting, and we realized that I am in about 1% stratified area where people with 250 episodes have reached, and you are in 0.05 or something like that because you have 1,000 episodes or so. So it's not hard to get to the top of those who are persistent and really believe in what they are doing, and they treat this type of work with respect and their guests with respect.
Yeah, it really isn't. It really isn't hard, and you will if you're not doing it already, do it seriously. I would say if you're tuning in, you're not doing anything like this, you should do it. I know you put together some amazing training programs too that are available for people, so they can reach out about that. But if you are doing it and you're still having those things, again, just look at what it is you're doing. A lot of it can come to a lot of it boils down to how much are you overthinking it? Are you allowing yourself to play in this land, or are you taking it way too seriously? Are you looking at it as like, you have everything there that needs to be so perfect all the time? And sometimes it just doesn't need to be perfect for you to get in a rhythm. Once you start moving and once you start getting your conversations going, you get your lingo down, you start getting comfortable on camera. I mean, there's different phases that one has to go through to make this all work out. When we first started our show, I thought it had to be perfect, our first show we ever did. And I remember after the show was done, I couldn't get to the production people fast enough to tell them to take that damn thing down. It was the worst, most embarrassing thing ever, right? Because again, I was so caught up on it being perfect, right? And that perfection really just didn't, it ruined it. It just really did because it wasn't natural. It was too scripted. It didn't have a vibe to it. And I could feel it afterwards. So they took it down. So again, we all go through these motions, right? We all try to do something, but you don't have to be. You'll get to your level of what is you're supposed to be by just going in your own way and have fun with this thing. And people
Yes,
will
and
see that you're having fun. If they see you're having fun doing what you do, they want to do business with you because they're saying, well, why is this person at this stage of their life having so much fun? They're always happy, they're always this or whatever mode they're going into. And how do I tap into that energy? That's what they're looking for. They're buying your energy.
yes, and I think another model which you exposed me to is the symposium approach. For those who are camera shy, that's the perfect
Yeah.
style to create some revenue and also be part of co-creating a symposium because you are just behind the camera. The focus is on your guest, and you just ask questions. There's an interactive discussion, and you just guide your guest in the right direction to bring forward her skills, her products, her business. And at the end, the product will be the end result, the video, the recording will be amazing. But again, you are behind, and doing two or three of these symposiums, it will give you the courage to start your own podcast and be right there in the
Yeah, or
the
or may or
competitive.
maybe you do stay, maybe you get fulfilled by staying behind the scenes. Who knows? You're never gonna know till you try. I spent all these years with being in the front and the camera. Now it's like these last several years it's been behind the scenes with the symposiums and it's a different world. But you're right, it's definitely it allows someone to experience the benefit of being in the media. It allows someone to raise their level of credibility in the marketplace and without as much as anxiety and allows them to put together these symposiums and these docu-series, if you would, right? It's the new media gold rush. It really is. When people think about I remember when they used to think about like these telesummits and all these joint venture programs and all about this. This is the new phase of everything, right? So you look at media trends right now. Content creators are looking for more of a streamlined way to get their message out. Most content creators, what's attractive about these symposium docuseries, as you know, Claudio, is most content creators don't really want to be part of a group of hundreds of different speakers or presenters. You know what I mean? They'd like to have a shot at being part of a few. So that's really what this does, is it allows you to be part of a smaller, intimate group, if you would, people, so you get a better chance of getting your message out. Your audience can connect with you more. So again, take a look at trends. That's what we do. We analyze trends. We see like what's working in the media, what's not working, and we move forward. We test the market, and if, you see results out of it, you keep moving with it. So I will share with you, from the perspective of getting involved into the media, like you were saying, either have your own show if you like the front line, maybe you do a combination of both, but that's the best way for you really to get your word out there. Again, as you know, like you bring up symposiums, hit a nice warm spot. I'm happy to talk about that because I do see that as the future. I really do. And I see that it's a great way for people to get their word out. I see them to elevate their credibility with their peers faster than any other model ever. It really does.
Yes, and with the collaboration between our networks, Gnostic TV and Oravers Network, all this content is free for those who will come to watch. You don't have to pay a subscription.
Mm.
It's evergreen, so you can always come and enjoy the content. And for those being guests on the symposiums, they will always can direct their followers to the same spots, and nothing will change. It's going to be there.
Other than their business.
Yes.
Then your business, right? I mean, that's what hopefully changes on this. Listen, I mean, content creators watching this really probably just reach out. If you know who you are, I would imagine that where hey, the business isn't where it needs to be, or it could be better, or I'm going through these transitions. What's my next move? I mean, I would say like anything in life, lean from experience. Claudia and I have been doing this for quite some time. Reach out to one of us and just find where it is you might be feeling like you have I hate to use the word block, right? Because it's just it's there, but where you might be just you feel like you're off path in some way, right? And it could be very simple. It just sometimes is very simple. We just we're happy to talk through it with you.
Perfect. Jay, anything else before we close our chat here? I know we are having a podcast workshop. It's a 3-day workshop. It's coming very soon. We're gonna do our recordings with like the pilot recording with a small group of and for others to purchase. Anything else you want to add?
I would say if you've been in the world right now and you're utilizing media to it and your conversions are not happening, chances are your strategy may be off. And as simple as that, I would set up a time with one of us. Okay. We're absolutely happy to, spend some time with you to see what it is your model is, what you're looking at right now, and help give you some insight of what it does. I mean, I'm a big proponent of don't try to, you'll know, I'm a big proponent of things can move fast if you have the right strategy in place, right? So if you do have the right strategy in place, and you're going to know it because your results will speak to that, meaning you'll be making money, you're getting sales for your product. If you're not getting sales for your product and you keep doing it and you're caught up into this, well, eventually it will. It doesn't work like that way. We're in a universe, you can get it fixed in a second if you have the right strategy. So, we're here, because again, this is therapeutic for us too, to be able to share this information with you. So thank you for all of you receiving it. And yeah, reach out if you think we could be of help to you.
Perfect. Thank you very much, everyone. And you come to either Gnostic TV or Averse.network, and we'll be able to